The Arctic, a region once synonymous with remoteness and extreme conditions, has emerged as a focal point of global attention. For centuries, its icy expanse held sway over the imaginations of explorers and adventurers. Today, the Arctic is assuming a new significance, driven by a confluence of factors that are reshaping the geopolitical landscape and amplifying the urgency of addressing climate change. The Arctic is undergoing a profound transformation as receding ice cover unlocks new opportunities and challenges. The region's vast reserves of natural resources, including oil, gas, minerals, and fish stocks, have become increasingly accessible, attracting the interest of Arctic states and global powers alike. Furthermore, the opening of new shipping routes through the Arctic has the potential to reshape global trade patterns, offering shorter transit times and economic benefits. However, the Arctic's transformation is not without its risks. The same forces that are opening up the region to new possibilities are also exacerbating existing tensions and creating new ones. The Arctic has become an arena for geopolitical competition, with major powers vying for influence and control over its resources and strategic waterways. Subscribe, like, and share Cosmo Academia. The Arctic Council, established in 1996, stands as the preeminent intergovernmental forum for addressing Arctic affairs. Comprising the 8 Arctic states, Canada, Denmark, including Greenland and the Faroe Islands, Finland, Iceland, Norway, Russia, Sweden, and the United States. The Council serves as a platform for dialogue and cooperation on matters of common concern. The Arctic Council's mandate is rooted in the principles of sustainable development and environmental protection. Its work focuses on addressing the challenges posed by climate change, promoting the well-being of Arctic communities, and fostering scientific research and cooperation. The Council operates on the basis of consensus among its 8 member states, with the active participation of permanent participants representing indigenous peoples of the Arctic. The Arctic Council's structure reflects the need for inclusivity and collaboration in addressing Arctic issues. In addition to its member states, the Council grants observer status to non-Arctic states, intergovernmental organizations, and non-governmental organizations. This inclusive approach recognizes the global significance of the Arctic and the interconnectedness of issues such as climate change and sustainable development. The Arctic's growing geopolitical significance is inextricably linked to its vast natural resources and its potential as a hub for new trade routes. Beneath the Arctic Ocean's seabed lie substantial reserves of oil and natural gas, estimated to account for a significant portion of the world's undiscovered reserves. The region is also rich in minerals, including rare earth elements, which are essential components of modern technologies.
The melting of Arctic sea ice is opening up new shipping routes that could significantly reduce transit times between Asia and Europe. The Northern Sea Route, which traverses the Arctic Ocean along the coast of Russia, and the Northwest Passage, which winds through the Canadian Arctic archipelago, offer potentially shorter and more cost-effective alternatives to traditional shipping routes.
The Arctic's resource potential and strategic location have made it a focal point for geopolitical competition. Arctic states are increasingly assertive in asserting their sovereignty over Arctic territories and resources, while non-Arctic states are seeking to secure access to the region's economic and strategic opportunities. The Arctic is warming at a rate twice the global average, leading to dramatic changes in the region's environment and ecosystems. The most visible impact of climate change in the Arctic is the rapid decline in sea ice extent and thickness. As sea ice melts, it exposes darker ocean water, which absorbs more solar radiation, further accelerating the warming process.
The melting of sea ice has profound implications for Arctic ecosystems, as well as for the livelihoods of indigenous communities that rely on ice for hunting, fishing, and transportation. The loss of sea ice also contributes to rising sea levels, posing a threat to coastal communities around the world.
The changing Arctic environment presents both opportunities and challenges. The opening of new shipping routes and the increased accessibility of natural resources offer economic potential. However, these activities must be managed sustainably to minimize their environmental impact and ensure the well-being of Arctic communities.
Subscribe, like, and share Cosmo Academia. The US Department of Defense has released updated Arctic strategies, emphasizing the need to enhance US military capabilities and readiness in the Arctic. The United States, while lagging behind Russia in terms of Arctic military infrastructure, has also stepped up its engagement in the region. Russia has reopened and modernized Soviet-era military bases in the Arctic, increased its naval patrols, and conducted military exercises to demonstrate its capabilities. Russia, with the longest Arctic coastline and a significant portion of its territory located within the Arctic Circle, has been particularly assertive in asserting its interests in the region. Non-Arctic states, including China, are also showing a growing interest in the Arctic, seeking to secure access to its resources and shipping routes. Arctic states are modernizing their military capabilities, increasing their presence in the region, and strengthening their claims to Arctic territories. Section 5. A new era of geopolitical competition, stakes and players. The Arctic's growing strategic importance has ushered in a new era of geopolitical competition.
Section 6. The Arctic's governance gap. A sea of uncertainty. The Arctic is governed by a complex patchwork of international law, national legislation, and bilateral agreements. However, the existing legal framework is widely considered to be inadequate to address the challenges and opportunities presented by the changing Arctic environment. The United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS, provides the foundational framework for maritime activities in the Arctic, including the delimitation of maritime boundaries, navigation rights, and the management of marine resources. However, UNCLOS does not address issues related to military activities, leaving a significant governance gap. The Arctic Council, while playing a crucial role in fostering cooperation and coordination on Arctic issues, does not have a mandate to address hard security matters. The Council's consensus-based decision-making process also limits its ability to take swift action on contentious issues. Section 7. The Arctic Council's Balancing Act, Navigating Cooperation and Competition. The Arctic Council faces the delicate task of balancing the need for cooperation with the realities of geopolitical competition. The Council's mandate focuses on issues of common concern, such as climate change, environmental protection, and sustainable development. However, these issues are increasingly intertwined with security concerns, making it difficult to maintain a clear separation between soft and hard security. The Arctic Council's consensus-based decision-making process, while ensuring that all member states have a voice, can also lead to deadlock on contentious issues. The Council's decision to pause cooperation with Russia following its annexation of Crimea in 2014 highlighted the challenges of maintaining dialogue and cooperation in the face of geopolitical tensions. Despite these challenges, the Arctic Council remains an essential forum for dialogue and cooperation on Arctic issues.
The Council's work on scientific research, environmental monitoring, and the well-being of Arctic communities is crucial for promoting sustainable development and addressing the impacts of climate change.
Subscribe, like, and share Cosmo Academia. Section 8. The Future of the Arctic, Towards a Sustainable and Peaceful Region. The future of the Arctic will be shaped by the interplay of cooperation and competition, as well as by the pace and trajectory of climate change. The Arctic Council will continue to play a vital role in fostering dialogue and cooperation, but its effectiveness will depend on the willingness of Arctic states to prioritize diplomacy and compromise over confrontation.
Strengthening the Arctic's governance framework will be crucial for ensuring the sustainable and peaceful development of the region. This may involve developing new legal instruments to address emerging challenges, such as the regulation of Arctic shipping and the management of transboundary environmental impacts. International cooperation will be essential for addressing the global implications of climate change in the Arctic. The Arctic's fate is inextricably linked to the global climate system, and actions taken in other parts of the world will have a direct impact on the region's environment and ecosystems.
Section 9. Conclusion. The Arctic, a shared responsibility. The Arctic stands at a crossroads, facing both unprecedented opportunities and significant challenges. The region's vast natural resources, its strategic location, and its vulnerability to climate change have made it a focal point of global attention and geopolitical competition. The Arctic Council, as the preeminent intergovernmental forum for Arctic affairs, has a crucial role to play in fostering cooperation, promoting sustainable development, and addressing the impacts of climate change. However, the Council's effectiveness will depend on the willingness of Arctic states to prioritize dialogue and compromise over confrontation. The future of the Arctic is a shared responsibility, not just for Arctic states, but for the global community as a whole. Addressing the challenges and opportunities presented by the changing Arctic environment will require international cooperation, innovative governance solutions, and a commitment to sustainable development. Only through collective action can we ensure that the Arctic remains a region of peace, cooperation, and environmental stewardship for generations to come. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share Cosmo Academia for more insightful content.